What's going on, YouTube? I have a question for all of you. What is the best security certification for you in 2022? Whether you're getting your first cert, your third cert, or your fifth cert, what is your certification? What are you looking for? I mean, that's the question. It's right here. What do you think are the top certs given your role, given your experience in your field or industry? And if you don't have an answer or you want to ask the question, drop a comment in the YouTube comments below about what search you're looking at, perhaps your experience, maybe the role or industry you're looking towards, or leave it more open-ended, and let's all collaborate and provide answers or guidance on what we believe is perhaps the best cert for each person, because there is no answer. I see a lot of YouTube videos talk about this is the best cert, or this will give you the most money, or whatever, right? But really, I would think you want to tailor certs to your role or your passions or your path, right? You don't want to just get a bunch of certs and that's it. You're collecting certs. You want to get the experience. You want to get the cert that matches your experience and your role. You want it to enhance your career. You don't want it to just be something you're collecting. So let's be wise with our time and our money and our experience, right? So a lot of my videos are talking about introductions to cybersecurity or transitions to cybersecurity. So I think of these top 5, which aren't necessarily certs, of course, as you can see. General IT experience may help, don't necessarily need it depending on the role. Experience with a programming language, I think that's going to be helpful for any role, and you don't need to be an expert. And what's nice about programming and learning a language is that you can do it for free. Just going to take time, right? So YouTube videos, you can pay for courses or classes, or sign up for certain things like a Try Hack Me type of course. Those are cheaper subscription-based services that you can do that enhance your knowledge. But I think that's going to be helpful whether you're a student or getting into cybersecurity or 10 years down the road. No matter what your experience, I think that's going to help everybody. 2 to 4 year degree still comes up on the job postings, right? So 2-year AA community college type of degree, or a 4-year degree. Generally, I see it in information technology or related field, right? It could be business or something within that realm of finance or whatever. So I think the general 4-year degree, 2 to 4 year degree on your resume just kind of shows you stuck through that, I guess, and completed your researches and researching and courses and all that. But anyway, I put that on there as, if you're looking to get into cybersecurity, general IT experience with a programming language, going through college or completing college is, a nice little foundation to have, right? CompTIA certs and ISC squared certs. I see a couple certs come up from CompTIA. Given the price and the experience needed and sort of the challenge, I think they're a good introduction generally. And the ISC squared certs, I don't know for a fact, but I want to say that a lot of them require certain number of years of experience to become fully certified in that with that cert. Like CISSP, you need 5 years, right? You can become an associate member and then gain those 5 years later, and then you just apply for that application process to become the full certified member. But I put that on here. Some of them may be acceptable earlier in your career, but they are challenging, right? So share your thoughts below on what you think is the best cert for your role, for your industry, or ask the question, in the YouTube comments. I'm trying to get this role. I'm still a student. What do you think is going to be the best route, right? So this is less a security certification talk and more how can we help each other enhance our careers, right? So, and let's take a quick look at a couple of links here. So CompTIA has a link, and this Coursera has a link. So first off, from CompTIA, they had a survey in 2020 that's looking at most widely held certs by pros globally, top paying certs in North America, and most pursued by technicians, right? So this is a little old on the data, but I still think some of this might apply. CompTIA Security Plus comes up a lot. Not a lot, but I think it's a good first cert if you're looking to get in or don't have any experience or want to transition in, and you're looking for the first certificate to put on your resume. If you're like me and you were going to take the CISSP and you were nervous about sitting in an exam, you might take the CompTIA Security Plus, because if I click the link here, the exam is $370 US. So this is a little more chewable in terms of your budget, right? So 370 versus I think it's $700 for the CISSP and CCSP. This is a little more easy to afford. It's a more affordable, right? So and then if you don't pass, you can take it again and two for the price of one, right? Or you're looking at these bundles. But anyway, there's a lot of YouTube videos for the Security Plus, and I'll probably post a exam prep video on that later. But that's where the CompTIA certifications really shine, is they are challenging. They cover a lot of ground. I really liked the Security Plus, but really it's nice that the price is just so easy to manage, especially for someone that's early on in their career, right? So CompTIA probably comes up quite a bit. CISM is more of the managerial side of things, so an InfoSec manager or something of that sort. C-risk is looking at the impact of risk in organizations, and so this might be more mid-career, but I could see where maybe it would apply early in your career for transitioning from a different managerial industry or career into cybersecurity or something like that, right? CISO, CIOs, it looks like project managers. That'd probably be a good one, project managers. CISSP, I don't necessarily call this an intro cert, but I also don't think this is probably like a cert where you need 20 years, you have to wait to get 20 years experience, right? So maybe towards early on in your career, but everyone's gonna have to gauge when they're ready to take the CISSP themselves, right? Candidates for the CISSP need 5 years of paid work experience. That's where I kind of say it's not necessarily an intro cert, right? You can get the certification, and then you have a number of years to get those 5 years, and then when you get the 5 years experience, you can apply, and you don't have to take the cert if you pass it earlier on. But that's where I'm like, when I took the exam, I leaned on my experience quite a bit, and so that's where I think not necessarily an entry-level cert, but it's one that obviously comes up quite often, if not the most, on job postings. But yeah, like I said, probably not an intro cert, but also not like the most advanced cert, because it covers so many different things and it's not super deep in a lot of those domains. The certified auditor, also from ISACA, like the CISM. And then others to consider. So CompTIA has a bunch of others, and I didn't put those on the slide because I don't have a lot of knowledge in them, but there's a Security Analyst Plus, Pen Test Plus, Security Practitioner Plus, all from CompTIA. So you can do a little bit of research in that. I'll post this link in the video about section. But the pen test one, I wonder if that would be, all of you pen testers, let me know. Is this a good one? This just launched. The newest version launched in 2021. Is this a good one for someone that's going to, get into red teaming or pen testing or any of that? Is this a good intro, like the Security Plus for like an analyst? And what's the price on this? $370. So it's also cheap and doable. Maybe I'll take this one just to down the road, just to see what it's like. But it's, instead of going for, because there's a bunch like the Certified Ethical Hacker, and then there's the OPSEC. This might be a better stepping stone before you get to those intensive exams. Let's real quick, because I'm making this a quick video, but this is what's come up on the most on job board postings, right? And this is from December 2021. Oh, they just updated this recently? No. We performed a search for more than 300 different cybersecurity certifications of 3 popular job boards, LinkedIn, Indeed, and Simply Hired. These 10 certifications appeared in the greatest number as of December 2021. I don't think this is true. This is suggesting that these are certifications companies are actively hiring for. I've seen job postings, as you all have, of a position looking for someone that has a CISSP, and it's like an entry-level position. It's like, you don't, like I said, you don't necessarily need a CISSP. Maybe that's more Security Plus rooted or something, right? But what's interesting is then this says number of job search results for each cert was when searched on June. So I don't know what the correct data is, but it is more recent than the last link we looked at. So this is saying the total number, I mean, this is just a huge difference. Let me zoom in real quick for you all. The CISSP is sort of the gold standard of cybersecurity certifications. I just think it's the most known, and I think it's perhaps prestigious because of the way they because of somewhat the material it covers, and how secure the test is and how random it is, perhaps. I don't know. I'm making an assumption, but this is a huge difference between the next one, right? CISSP 71,000 compared to the next in line is 22,000 with the CISA. That's massive. So in terms of what shows up the most on job postings, obviously I think we all knew CISSP was probably the top spot. What's CISA and CISM? What's interesting is I see a lot of people kind of group those three together. The CISSP, CISM, and CISA are like the trifecta. I don't necessarily think the CISA is something you need to have high on your list. If you're someone that likes to get a lot of certs or you're looking towards different certs, it's on my list perhaps down the road. It's an auditing based certification, right? So if you don't necessarily work in the required fields, or I know there's aspects of it that can apply to any role, but may not be something you need to get, right? So I see a CISSP is really high on the list and CISA is pretty high, and perhaps because SOC 2 type audits are becoming a lot more sought after. So maybe more companies are looking for auditors or whatever. CISM, I see a lot of people take that after the CISSP. We already talked about that briefly. It's nice to see this is higher on the list. Security Plus, like I said, is a good, I took this and it's a good introduction to security, and it feels like a portion of the CISSP, but definitely not as near as intense. So this is coming in fourth with 11,000 over a number of those job postings, right? This is the certified ethical hacker. I guess maybe I'm surprised to see it that high, but all of you red teamers can let me know if that makes sense. Because the OSCP, which is the offensive security something, I can't remember what that one's called, but that's also a pen testing exam, right? They're not too much of a difference, but it still made the top 10, and maybe that's increasing in frequency. And then we have GSEC, SSCP, CASP, and GCIH. So CISSP, CISA, right? Certified Information Systems Auditor, Security Plus, Ethical Hacker, GIAC Security Essential Certification. I think these are the ones that are really expensive. Yeah, look at that. See, 2,500. I'm surprised. I guess I'm surprised to see it in the top 10. That's a pretty expensive cert to take versus, I mean, even just this 370 for the Security Plus and 600 for the CISM and 600 for the CISA and almost 800 for the CISSP. That's a massive difference in price. That's crazy. SSCP, Systems Security Certified Practitioner, intermediate security credential. So maybe I don't have a lot of knowledge in this, but maybe that's their ISC Squared's attempt at sort of having a Security Plus similar cert, right? This is only $250, so they're almost trying to slip under that $370 price range of the CompTIA Security Plus. Here's another CompTIA one, about $500. Advanced Practitioner, Incident Handler for another $2,500. That's expensive again. $1,000. This is the one that I've heard from people I've talked to in interviews I've been in. I haven't heard anyone refer to the CEH. That's just my anecdotal experience. So you might have something different, but I've heard more people refer to this, and it's pretty intense, right? You have that 24-hour window to do your pen testing and reporting. And it's something I would like to take at some point. But the main thing I want to show you, because I'm going a little bit long on this video, is this career roadmap from this website, pauljeremy.com. This is really cool because, let me zoom me down. This breaks down some different domains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like it's referencing the CISSP domains or something. I haven't confirmed, but this was last updated apparently July 2021, so relatively new. It probably gets updated regularly every couple months, but it shows the different certs and what domains they cover and their cost. And then the nice thing too is you can click and it'll take you to the website. And that's interesting. It'll take you to the website for that cert. Oh, it came up. right? A link to those, which is really cool. So it doesn't just take you to the ISACA website, it takes you to the specific cert info, as you can see. So I'm going to put this in the about section. So click that link, because this is, I think this is super cool to just give you take a step back, take this all in, and kind of maybe plan your first 1 to 3 certs you want to look at, right? Like I've mentioned, and as you're all aware, the CISSP covers a lot of different domains, but it doesn't get into very specific things, right? So this is claiming, and this might be out of date, but this is claiming the CISSP covers security operations, but it doesn't do pen testing or incident handling, right? Whereas these certs are more domain specific. So we've got a lot here: CREST, CCT, all CEH is down here. OPSEC should be in here somewhere. Let's take a quick look. OPSC. In any case, oh, right here. OSCP, whatever. It's not OPSEC, but whatever. And then I mentioned program language, and program language right here covers every. Just here's the title: Learning a programming language is valuable to any IT professional career. And it's probably just a page to some learnpython.com, interesting, but Ruby, Python, C++, and then Security Plus is down here, and some others. So anyway, I'll link this. And this is a little outdated, and this person's take on this, but similar to what I'm talking about: early career sort of careers, mid-career, late career, extended career. I don't really know what the methodology here is, but this is roadmap uses titles represent on popular job postings. So you should and will move between categories, I'm guessing, right? So here's the different categories, and I'm sure this will expand over time. But as I mentioned earlier, right, it's like help desk technician is an intro, or a junior network analyst is an intro or something, junior software developer. And you can go from junior software developer to senior system admin to, you can bounce all over. There's no set career path, but this is kind of interesting to just see things visually, right? And take a step back and sort of pair these two up. Kind of interesting, I think. So anyway, that question is back to all of you. What you think is one of the best certs in your field, with your role, with your experience, or the question you can ask is, what do you think I should get next? This is you talking, right? What you think you should get next, and what you're looking at, or what certs you're looking to gain, perhaps in 2022, right? So share your thoughts, right? What are your thoughts? And appreciate you all joining me. If you have any video recommendations or things you'd like me to talk about, or real world scenarios or things like that, I can do some more interactive stuff, given my career and experience. And I've got a new website in my YouTube channel, so take a look if you want some help fighting phishing emails and malware and stuff like that. I've got some different links up. So thanks all for joining me. Appreciate all the comments and all the love, and let's get after it, and let's take on 2022 together.